fight commentary breakdowns here. Shinigami, Streetbeef's all-star, and this is Nick, my PT. He's the one that all my injuries, all my neck strengthening, everything, he's the one, he taught me everything. We're gonna look at a YouTube legend, Chosun Ninja. He has this like little crotch grab here. The first thing you're gonna notice, and I didn't realize this until I got put in this position, it's hard for me to even find where the crotch is because his body, his arms are blocking my field of vision. So that's one assumption that Chosun Ninja makes that I didn't even realize. Give me some pressure. Let me try to find your crotch. Yeah, I can't do it. So let's say I do grab his crotch somehow, I make him lean over a little in pain or whatever. The next assumption that Chosun Ninja makes, he tries to reach across and grab this. I don't know if I can't, like, it was hard for me to even find this. The other thing Shinigami did when we were playing with this earlier, he just moved his head. So like if I try, yeah, exactly. Oh,
I'm bigger than him, I'm stronger than him, and for me to reach up and do,
see,
that's not happening.
Yeah.
He's not even putting that much pressure, and I can't. Yeah. I really got to muscle it.
Even if I let him grab, look at that. Why is the body weak, like trying to grab the face like this?
Yeah, so muscles are strongest in their mid-range, so biceps are strongest here, all your other muscles are strong there. If you're trying to do a curl from down here, really tough, and they're strong when muscles work together too. So to come from this position, to come over, you're strong here, punching up and reaching, but to come from here all the way across when your muscles are fully lengthened, to have to pull down and hope that their head is in the right place and they're not gonna adjust and move on you, is just not realistic at all. It's great for doing different holds as a rock climber, but that means you have other limbs to play with. If this is your primary movement, this is only going to be a secondary support. So relying on this for your number one way to get out is not wise at all.
There's also another problem too with that groin grab. If I attack your groin from this way, see where your hips moved? If I go from the other way, you're gonna move the opposite the way of where he was trying to get the guy to go. Even if I grab from behind, your instinct is gonna be to move this way, which makes your head even harder to reach.
Naturally, most humans want to protect this area, right? So just by reflex.
The angle too, right? Wherever the pain stimuli is coming from, you're gonna move opposite that. So if it's coming from behind you, you're gonna move your pelvis forward, and if it's coming from the front, you're gonna move this way.
Make the headlock worse for either.
First thing you always have to do is worry about the issue, right? Which is the arm choking you. Step in front.
Look at that.
Push this way.
Yeah.
Then I can attack arm bars. The main thing is getting out of there efficiently.
Yeah.
One of my jiu-jitsu coaches told me all you have to do is just pick the leg.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly.
There's that, and then Armchair Violence made a video. This is a little bit of a problem, but all I have to do is double leg is right there.
Think about this. Look what I'm doing. I'm giving him my back usually. Like some people might headlock like this, but I'm giving him my back. So you don't give your back to people not to grapple. Look at that. See that? Wow.
Bam!
Yeah,
exactly. The old Dan Severn.
Yeah, throw me into the pool.
There's a lot of more efficient ways, and that's the point of self-defense is efficiency.
Another good thing, preventative, is don't get into a headlock. If someone has you in a headlock, you probably have done something wrong, especially if this is in a street situation. Texting on your phone, maybe you're drunk or something.
Go to the tricep area, step out, and punch right in between the muscles. So, bam, okay? That's going to take care of any person. Take care of any person.
In between where the bicep and the tricep lay, there's a nerve point right in the middle.
So it's a nerve point here. Choke me. That's good.
That's good.
Under pressure, you saw what just happened when he choked me. Am I gonna be able to find that nerve point? Okay, but let's say he's being nice. And, you know, some people don't choke you well, right? So let's say here, maybe I have the neck muscles engaged, so, you know, I have some resistance. So he tells you, you hit here and you step this way. So you're using the leverage of your whole body, okay?
You talk about Joy, use your neck muscles to tense to maybe have a chance against him. Well, his arm is already tense. So let's say even if you do hit it in the perfect spot, it's not going to do as much as we think it is with his arm already tense, already protecting that nerve area.
Because you're choking me, this arm's tense. Yeah, even. The other thing I was telling Shinigami is it's really hard to have a lot of strength in your punch from this angle. I don't have much wind up or anything. My tendency, like let's say if he had a one-hand choke, I want to do a hammer fist, but because he has two hands, I don't have room to wind up a hammer fist. And it's not a size thing. I'm gonna do it on him. Yeah, see? It hurt, but I didn't let go.
Even if I did one of these and I'm trained for this,
It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt, but he's not gonna let go.
Yeah.
There's nothing here.
Yeah.
Jerry's whole body is moving far beyond just the contact or giving out of his arm. They're just going to go and momentum will carry them.
It's a technique in Kempo, I know, that it was kind of a similar idea, like manipulate the pressure point.
Right here. See, it weakens his arm, but that's not the same thing as here, right?
I see.
That's dropping here, which is gonna come up later for a rear naked choke too, is this nerve.
Yeah. So there's no techniques in Kempo that involve this nerve right here.
I mean, someone's grabbing you by the hair,
Oh, sure.
right? So I'm gonna come up here and hit this just enough to distract you as I pull you off balance, right?
And now the important difference here is that the punch to the nerve is to get them to move in a different direction. So because we're already here isolated, not moving anywhere, there's no momentum to take you. Versus as soon as you're all the way up here and you send a blow to that nerve, it's making your release. Plus in that position when you're holding him, that's the position where that nerve is in maximum tension anyway. It's going to be more sensitive to begin with.
It's a different angle and everything. The way we get out of this is so much easier.
Yeah. I'm extended. I've given him both my weapons.
Anything where you're trying to grip with the thumb is actually really extremely weak.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even need to pin his hand with the chin.
Yeah.
I just have him here and then it's
Woo.
moving face city, whatever I need. You know, even in jiu-jitsu, they teach you to grab a lot of things this way.
Yeah. I will say it does hurt. It does hurt, like I'm feeling it, but as we demonstrated earlier, it didn't get me to let go of the front choke.
When you're in the heat of a moment, there's adrenaline. That reduces ability to feel pain.
Yeah.
So if someone's trying to choke you and they're that serious about hurting you, that's probably not going to do anything.
So pain is there to give you a signal to protect you. What better protection is there than beating the guy up that's trying to beat you up or getting out of the situation? So sure, I might feel a lot of pain, but I know it's going to get worse unless I get myself out of the situation. How do I get myself away? An efficient exit plan.
An efficient exit plan and an ability not to get into that situation, right? So self-awareness / situational awareness.
Yeah.
So, but the big point is just causing someone pain unless you actually have a true mechanical leverage on them isn't going to do enough. They're going to react back right away.
Yeah. And with that being said, the next one, we've already hinted at it, is going to be even better.
They have you in a nice chokehold like this. Now remember, there's a pressure point right here. It's located right here at the arm, okay? When you take your fingers and press down here, it'll give you some time to place your chin right at that same place. The more they try to put strength, the more pressure point pain they're going to apply on themselves. In this quick second, what you got to do is take your hip, go out to the side, shoulder flex shot, drawing shot. The more they try to put strength, the more pressure point pain they're going to apply on themselves.
So if you've been following the channel, we've actually explored a similar technique. So this one, Chosun Ninja doesn't go that extreme, right? But he does claim there's a pressure point here that will hurt him enough that if he chokes me, he'll hurt himself more than he chokes me. When I heard that, I knew this is just complete bollocks. I'm not British. Please subscribe. So Chosun Ninja claims, okay, I use my chin. There's some pressure point here. Somehow, I guess, go a little bit tighter. I'm hurting him more as he chokes me. Does it hurt you more?
Point to your chin is, it's not going to apply enough pressure to the area, nor do you have any chance at having any leverage. If he has any kind of a decent headlock, he's going to prevent the chin from going down anyway.
If you tuck your chin, you're lucky, right? Sometimes you're up here. There's no way I'm slipping my chin in there. All I have is, my jiu-jitsu, use my neck, etc. But let's say I do get my chin down in time. Like Nick said, I don't think there's any angle of my chin that has enough leverage downwards.
It's a little irritating, but it's not
irritating.
even close to what it feels like if it's actually properly hit or pressed into.
It's not going to make you let go, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to maybe make me squeeze harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Or do a boss root and
Yeah, exactly. So as a reference, to show it's not just a size thing, I will put him in a little choke hold, right? So now, look at this. It's not letting, it hurts. But what if I start squeezing more? You see what I mean? It does hurt. Like you said, it kind of irritates me a little. But
Right.
It didn't get me to let go because I have the dominant position.
dominant position, muscles fully flexed. You noticed when we were doing it earlier, I was one fingertip for the single lapel grab. I'm pushing in with one finger.
And you can see when he pushes into that one specific point, when he's got leverage. Easy, put pressure down, he's not being compromised.
Yeah.
The other thing is, Jerry is in an extended position out.
Yeah, so I started
When
here.
you hit this nerve is responsible for all the muscles in the arm. that straighten. So what is it going to do? It's going to help you release from full extension.
Right there.
Into flexion.
I see.
It does not want to work at all. It goes into protection mode. Versus, show the other one.
I'm already here.
Fully flexed position. And if he pushes there, that nerve is not the same quality of threat to let it shut down. And the knowledge of which nerves you're pinching on is about which action you're trying to avoid.
So then a follow-up question for both of you. Is there a nerve on the arm that you can pinch that makes you go straight if you're choking?
Not about what happens, it's about what you're avoiding. So in theory, this nerve in here would make you a little more likely to avoid the full flexion, but it's not in an exposed position, so it's not in a state where it's vulnerable at all. And like you said, there are way easier ways to get out of it. A nerve would not be my easiest target. Get leverage on the hand, get leverage on the thumb and wrist, and get out into a full lock position from more of a joint perspective, not locking them out from a nerve. Because a lot of the good things when applying these principles to the body, it's either a ton of pressure or tension on a nerve, or a ton of pressure and tension right on your joint in a position it shouldn't be at.
One last thing to note, and this is something, shout out Rob, he taught me this. Let's say I do tuck my chin. You can still squeeze and crank my jaw and it hurts.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Just because you don't get the main target doesn't mean there's nothing else more exposed.
Yeah. Hearing your jaw pop a little is one of the scariest things.
The jaw can still break. You can crank higher on the face. That's why boxers guard here, right? There's nothing structurally really here.
Yes, we're critiquing Chosun Ninja, but it's not like all his stuff is bad. And that's the thing that maybe we should do a little talk about. Some of these gurus, these self-defense experts and stuff like that, maybe they have limited knowledge, and it's good limited knowledge, but they apply in scenarios that don't work. It's like a context thing. Like, here's one thing that we saw that did work, right? He said, okay, if someone's grabbing me, he told you, turn towards the thumb, right? So you can go like this very easily. That was a pretty good technique.
Thumbs at the weak point, we talk about over and over.
Yeah, so I didn't know. I didn't know that you could do this, you know, like for me, in jiu-jitsu, sometimes you just go like this, right? Or the one you just turn towards the thumb, but I didn't realize you do have a little bit more force this way. You'd go like, I didn't know that. So that was pretty cool. See, giving him credit. And when I watched Chosun Ninja in 2013, I had very limited martial arts training at that point, just a little bit of Kung Fu, a little bit of karate. But like some of his stuff made sense from that angle. Without a lot of the other trainings, of course, I wouldn't know what was good from like the jiu-jitsu stuff he was taking, the choking stuff.
A lot of people have principles correct and the application is wrong, or someone will tell you something works, but it doesn't, but because they were in a place of authority when you were learning. I think that's part of Chosun Ninja's thing, is his instructor taught him all of this stuff, right? Because he's teaching what he was taught. So he was told it works, and he spent time in an environment where it was demonstrated as working. So he teaches as it working, but without pressure testing or experimenting like we're doing here, that did work, but I have one issue with that too, right? So you're pulling my hands towards you with that.
Oh, yeah, right there, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You know, as a Kempoist, I might try to eye gouge you. Somebody else might just go for punches or whatever, or just grab you with the clinch, right? The good old Thai plum.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so the rotation idea is good. Yeah. This is kind of good if you have an actual exit plan. Sure, if you have something to follow that up with.
It's not just, okay, he's going to stop attacking. It's like, okay, what am I doing? You know, kind of.
That was good. So he backed out as he did it. But if he just pulls me in, he's getting hit.
And a lot of these for me are about efficiency and is it reliable? Just because you can pull something off 3 out of 10 times does not make it worthy in a street fight, does not make it worthwhile to do over and over and over again and hope that it worked out this time.
You can look people up, like you can look them up on Streetbeef and see them go boof on someone. When you look at a guy like Chosun Ninja, you don't really know what his lineage is. You don't really know if he's had any real experience. So now with the age of the internet, anyone that's teaching, look at them. Have they shown what they can do, and et cetera, et cetera.
Frank Dukes, or the guy from Detroit Urban Survival, right? Frank Dukes shows up in a gi, had a whole movie, you know, might have heard it, Bloodsport. The average person's gonna see him in his like really cool looking custom gi and black belt and go, oh, well, he's clearly an expert. They made a movie about him too. And then you got the Detroit Urban Survival guy. He's got all the tactical gear and everything, and he's always got all that on him anytime in his demonstration or video. He's an example of sometimes the principle's there, but his application is wrong. The average person, you're gonna look at people in a uniform with a black belt or something that looks like a tactical uniform, and they seem like they know what they're doing because that just, it's like a visual signal, right? That's expertise, right? It's a uniform of an expert. That's how they rope you in and con you out of your money. I
like to watch PT stuff on YouTube and stuff like that, but I always have someone, an expert, to check with. He's gone through PT school, he's got in his MD, etc. If I see something PT-wise that I want to try to strengthen an area of my body, I'll do it, feel it, etc., but also check with someone that is accredited, that knows. So I think that's another good piece of advice. Go train somewhere with someone that's not bullshito, and then if you see something cool, ask the person who's teaching you, right? You can always ask, hopefully. If you go to a school, they're like, no outside techniques, maybe you should not.
That's a red flag
That's
McDojo thing for sure.
Yeah.
And my dojo was always, yeah, go learn this, go learn that. We want you to learn as much as you can and see what works and what doesn't.
How do we find you on YouTube, Instagram, etc.?
Shinigami _ Reaper MMA on Instagram. And then my channel is, if you look up Undead Pyro or Shinigami the Reaper, it should come up either way. I changed the channel name, but the URL is still Undead Pyro, all one word. Or you can also look me up on Streetbeefs.
Yeah.
Shinigami Streetbeefs. Comes right up.
Right up, man. And how do we find you, Nick?
So I'm on Instagram at nickdavis_pt.
Nick Davis _PT. Cool. And we will definitely have both of them back. Nick actually lives pretty close, so we'll talk a lot about body, etc., strengthening. Cool, guys. Thank you.